RBI क्विज 2014 प्रस्तुत करता रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
Hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You're with me, Pick Brain, here today on Darshan, and you're watching RBI Q 2014. Created as an idea for young India by the Reserve Bank of India. This is a unique initiative to bring together the young minds of this country onto a platform where you create a consciousness for financial inclusion, educate young India on better and prudent ways of investing, understanding banking and finance, and the whole idea is to build a better nation, a better India. As we move towards the future, and young India is going to power that destiny of this country, with us here today are sharp young minds who've displayed fantastic knowledge on the world of banking and finance. A quiz that perhaps would have far-reaching consequences years ahead from now, but the seeds are more important perhaps than the fruits. Here today, after traversing across 62 locations of this nation, after covering over 10,000 teams, with us here today at the Western Zonal Final of this quiz are 4 outstanding champions, each of them having won their respective city locations and got through into the National Western Zonal Finals. We'll pick action by first taking a look at who our 4 finalists are. On my far right, as our first finalist, representing the lovely city of Surat, we have with us J.H. Ambani Saraswati Vidya Mandir. Representing them, Aman Saurav and Rohan. Welcome to the two of you. Well guys, let me get started with you before we move any further. Here today at a national stage, what do you want to do with your lives? Any thoughts? No thoughts?
I want to be a great quizzer. And my aspiration is to be like Mr. Lloyd Saldanha. He's my inspiration. I want to be like him.
Well, on the first start, I've lost my job. So, let's go to our next young man here. Rohan, what is your aspiration in life?
Well, I would like to go into the field of law, but banking and finance is also a field which interests me really.
All right. Well, interesting young Indians here coming in from the world of Surat. None of them want to get into the diamond business for now. As we move across to our second team here today, representing Center Point School from Nagpur, we have with us Ronak and Anirudh. To you guys, what's your career plans?
I aspire to become a successful chartered accountant one day.
All right. And Anirudh?
Even I aspire to become a chartered accountant, and one day I want to work for the RBI.
That gets you no points in this quiz competition, but absolutely good aspirations to have. It's one of India's most iconic institutions. Hope you do get there one day. As we move across to our left here today, with 2 aspiring chartered accountants on my right. On my near left, representing the city of Raipur, here today, Krishna Public School, Jay and Mukund. Welcome to the two of you. Jay, if we could start with you, what does the future look like for you?
I would like to go in the field of wildlife and forest.
Wildlife and forestry, that's interesting. And Mukund, what about you?
I would like to go to IIT and then an IIM like Raghuram Rajan, our governor.
Dr. Raghuram Rajan. Okay, he went on way beyond that. So there's an IIT, IIM aspirant here. As we move across to our final team, representing Indore from the prestigious Delhi College, we have with us here today Harshavardhan and Ragini Singh Pawar. Starting with you, Harshavardhan, welcome to our final. And any thoughts on your future?
I would like to become a mechanical engineer.
All right, it's nice to hear that. And what about you, Ragini?
I wish to join the United Nations one day.
All right, nice. That is New India. Ambition has no boundary, like India today has no boundary. Time for us to get started with a quiz which perhaps exemplifies just that new feeling that India enjoys. There is no limit to knowledge, there is no limit to our dreams, but to channelize that is perhaps where institutions like the Reserve Bank of India come in. Mentor children in the right way while they are at school, and perhaps in future we will see a UN member. Who knows? We may see a future governor of the Reserve Bank of India emerge from one of these quiz programs one day. For now, time to get started with our final here today. One team from out of these four will qualify into the national final, and they will represent the West Zone. Over the next couple of weeks, you're going to watch the various zonals and then the big national finale. But for now, time to get started with the first frontier of the Western Zonal final here today. Time to mint them. Here it comes. On the first frontier of your battle here today between the four of you, the first two rounds are going to pass clockwise and anti-clockwise. I'll explain the rules as we get to them. But on the first round, where we call it mint them, we essentially have a question for you. And along with that question, you would have a set of letters which will be masked in terms of the boxes. The boxes on your screen will indicate the number of letters in the answer. We'll take a look at an example which will tell you essentially how this round is played. You get a 10-pointer if you get it right. Here's your example. And it is a summary of financial assets and liabilities in the world of business is captured by this. Well, seated there in the comforts of your home, you sure would have cracked that. The answer that we're looking at is a balance sheet. For the teams on stage, plus 10 if you get it right. Each of you would get a direct question. The passing sequence would be clockwise, which means we move from J.H. Ambani to Delhi College. If you're ready, on table number 1, J.H. Ambani Saraswati Vidya Mandir. Question for you coming up on your screen now. A recognizable image or pattern in a paper that appears in various shades of lightness to darkness when viewed by transmitted light. What am I describing here? Aman and Rohan, first on the block for a 10-pointer.
The answer is holograph.
Passing you on a holograph for a hologram, moving across to center point from Nagpur. Your turn.
Maybe it's intaglio.
Intaglio. Well, life can be simple. As we move across on my left, it's the young team from Raipur. Yes?
Is it watermark?
Is it a watermark? So that's a question you're asking me.
Okay, it is a watermark.
It is a watermark. It is a watermark. 10 to you. 10 to you on that effort. And that's the first 10 mark there on a watermark. Absolutely well cracked. They happen to be the youngest of our finalists here today. They're still in class 9, is what I understand. And it's really nice to see the youngest of our teams starting on the scoring board here today. As we move across to our second team, and your direct question coming up on your screen, center point Nagpur. Here we go. Securities, funds, and other assets held by third party on behalf of the other two parties in a transaction is called dash. What's the good word? Securities, funds, and other assets held by a third party on behalf of the other two in a transaction is called dash. What am I describing? 10 if you get it right. Center point Nagpur. Waiting for you. Not trying. You choose to pass? Alright. Passing you, moving across to Raipur on my left.
Escrow.
Escrow. and you're in class 9. Welcome to a new India. 10 points. Beautiful. Beautiful answer. I must be honest, many years ago when I was in class 9, I quite never knew the word escrow. Lovely. 10 points to you. And a direct question coming to you as a follow-up of that. Your direct question on your screen. Raipur, here it comes. This institution was created on the recommendation of the Shivaraman Committee in 1981. What in India are we describing? Raipur.
NABARD.
NABARD.
If I can have that again on your mics, please. Yeah?
NABARD.
NABARD. RIGHT. He'll get that right. 10 again. Raipur in good form. If you were at a cricket match, that would be called a hat trick. 3 in 3, 30 to them. They've really set the semi-final on fire, and it could well be a zonal championship that will lead them into the national final with a start that is this good, but a long way to go. For now, we move to Delhi College. They've been waiting to get their first strike into this quiz. Over to you for your direct question on your screen. Here it comes. The chief executive of a particular Indian financial institution gets his title or term which originates from a Greek term which means kubernan, meaning to steer or to rule. What is this word?
Governor.
A governor comes from a Greek term called kubernan. Delhi College, 10 to you. That's a good crack. It comes from an old Greek word which means kubernan, which stood for governor. That was the root word for the term governor. Early days here today in this battle. One team will go through. On the other side of this break, we'll tell you where the teams stand. For now, you're watching RBI Q on Doordarshan. Stay with us. Back in just a moment.
Now, this is a fantastic opportunity for both the Reserve Bank and Doordarshan to reach many young minds across the country and to get them excited about the issues of currency, finance, and economics. And I'm very glad that the Reserve Bank is working on this venture with Doordarshan. It's been a fantastic effort, 10,000 students, 62 cities. And I think what you see in the outcomes is the diversity of India and the capabilities of students in every part of the country. So I'm very glad we're participating in this effort, and I thank Doordarshan for being a partner.
It's taken us about 2.5 to 3 months of serious research with our entire research team at Grey Caps, putting their heads together to research this quiz. Not a single question has been repeated across the 62 cities. We really appreciate two massive institutions coming together to create this. You got a Reserve Bank of India and then the quizzes on Doordarshan. So it just puts enough pressure on us.
RBI Quiz 2014 प्रस्तुत करता रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
एक नोट ने कहा था, मेरी रंगत तो देखो, सातों रंग पहनता हूं, मेरा चेहरा उठाओ ना, बड़ी बारीक बातें हैं, छू के देखो नक्श मेरे, छुपाया कुछ नहीं मैंने, लिखा है सब लकीरों में, पहिए हैं न पंख हैं, पैसा चलता रहता है, नजर जो तेज रखते हैं वो सब कुछ ताड़ लेते हैं, जरा सा पास तो बैठो, तुम्हें पूरी तरह देखूं, जरा सी रोशनी डालो, नजर धोखा न खा जाए, ये मेरी नब्ज है देखो, ये नोट ने कहा था, सब कुछ तो परखते हो, मुझे भी परखने की एक आदत बना लो। पैसे की भाषा सुनिए, क्योंकि पैसा बोलता है।
विम है दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी फैमिली के किचन में। आपके बच्चों का मैच जाके देखोगे नहीं?
कैसे? इस कढ़ाई में ही आधा घंटा लगेगा।
विम के साथ नहीं, चैलेंज इसमें है 100 नींबुओं की शक्ति जो कड़ी चिकनाई हटाए सबसे तेज।
इतनी जल्दी?
सबसे तेज विम।
डूड, हाथ का ये हाल है तो फेस का सोच।
300 दिन धूप में खेलियो, फिर देखेंगे।
300 दिन धूप में एक्टिंग करता हूँ, देख ले। ये ले
फेयर एंड लवली मेन विद एक्सपर्ट बूस्टर्स, जो धूप से बचाएं और दे 2 हफ्तों में एक्सपर्ट ब्राइट लुक।
ओह माय गॉड!
लड़कियाँ आजकल फिल्में कम, क्रिकेट ज्यादा देख रही हैं।
फेयर एंड लवली मेन फेस क्रीम।
एक नोट ने कहा था, मेरी रंगत तो देखो, 7 रंग पहनता हूँ। मेरा चेहरा उठाओ ना, बड़ी बारीक बातें हैं। छू के देखो नक्श मेरे, पहिए हैं न पंख हैं, पैसा चलता रहता है। नजर जो तेज रखते हैं वो सब कुछ ताड़ लेते हैं, ये नोट ने कहा था। मुझे भी परखने की एक आदत बना लो। पैसे की भाषा सुनिए, क्योंकि पैसा बोलता है।
किराए पे कमरा मिलेगा?
मॉडर्न किराएदार नहीं चाहिए।
नमस्ते।
एक हाई क्लास घर?
हाय।
कोई भी हेयर स्टाइल करो, अगर बाल हो घने और लंबे, इसलिए सनसिल्क थिक एंड लॉन्ग, जिसमें है योगर्ट प्रोटीन,
जो बालों को 2 गुना घना बनाए। 2 गुने घने बाल अब 1 रुपए में। अब सनसिल्क के 1 रुपए सैशे पर पाइए 20% एक्स्ट्रा बिल्कुल मुफ्त।
पहली बार मॉइस्चराइजिंग सिल्क एसेंस और दुनिया के बेहतरीन परफ्यूम्स एक साथ नए लक्स में, ये आपको दे महकती कोमल त्वचा। यूं सजाए शरारत होने दो, महकतन की खुशबुओं में डूबे रहे। बस जरा सा लक्स, नया लक्स सॉफ्ट टच।
एक नोट ने कहा था, छुपाया कुछ नहीं मैंने, लिखा है सब लकीरों में। जरा सा पास तो बैठो, तुम्हें पूरी तरह देखूं। पहिए हैं न पंख हैं, पैसा चलता रहता है। जरा सी रोशनी डालो, नजर धोखा न खा जाए। ये मेरी नब्ज है देखो, ये नोट ने कहा था। मुझे भी परखने की एक आदत बना लो। पैसे की भाषा सुनिए, क्योंकि पैसा बोलता है।
शादी सीजन यानी मेहंदी, संगीत, फेरे, रिसेप्शन, विदाई, 5 फंक्शंस की तैयारी अब रेडी सिर्फ 5 रुपए में।
फेयर एंड लवली का स्पेशल मिनी पैक, जो दे सिर्फ 5 रुपए में हमारा बेस्ट एवर निखार।
अब 5 रुपए में रोज रेडी।
स्टाइल भाई, लाइट ब्लू शर्ट,
ये हमारी मिसेज की गिफ्ट है।
शाम तक इस पे खूब मैल दिखेगा।
शाम को देखेंगे।
अब इस गहरे मैल का क्या करोगे?
अरे हमारी बीवी स्टार है, उनकी धुलाई दमदार है।
इतने गहरे मैल के लिए नया दमदार व्हील, ये दे इतनी गहरी सफाई, इतनी गहरी सफाई।
माइंड धोइंग, माइंड धोइंग।
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching RBI Q 2014 here today on Doordarshan. With me here are 4 outstanding teams representing the West Zone in the first of our semi-finals leading up to the national final of this quiz. Before we move any further, a first look at RBI quotient. This is how the battle looks. Leading this quiz are the youngest of our 4 finalists from Raipur Krishna Public School on 30. Right behind them with a good answer on the governor, Delhi College from Indore on 10. This battle can really change very quickly as we move to the second frontier of our battle here today. Time to play Banking Basics. Here it comes. Here today on the second frontier on Banking Basics, the teams will get a choice of subjects to choose from. And from the subjects they choose from, we will present a question to you. The passing sequence will now be anti-clockwise. The scoring pattern remains the same. 10, the value of an answer, irrespective of who gets it right. So, we're going to move back to Delhi College, which now gets a back-to-back. And here's your screen from which you can make a choice of your subject. People, woman, institution, fiction, the year 2014 and India. 6 choices, 4 teams. Please remember, you can't repeat a choice as it would vanish from your software on your screen. If you are ready, Delhi College, your subject or topic of choice?
Women.
Women. says young Ragini. It has to be. And a question on the world of women coming up on your screen. Here we go. Which general manager, as she calls herself, and country head of a bank was the first Indian woman to graduate from Harvard Business School? A famous Indian, a famous personality, a country head of a well-known bank is your question on women, which is your subject of choice. Delhi College Indore, go ahead.
Miss Naina Lal Kidwai.
Miss Naina Lal Kidwai, the first ever Indian woman to graduate from Harvard Business School. 10 to them. That's a good answer. They chose their subjects after a fair amount of thought. And woman turns green, so you can't choose that. As we go across to the young team from Raipur, 5 topics for you to choose from.
Institution.
Institution is their choice. Your question on your screen now. The overdraft was invented by this bank when it was allowed, or when it allowed William Hogg, a merchant on the high street of Edinburgh, to access £1,000 of credit. Which institution in the world is this?
The Royal Bank of Scotland.
The Royal Bank of Scotland. This young team is in good form. 10 again. Woman done. Institution done. We move across on my right. Center point, Nagpur.
We'll go with people.
People is your choice. On your screen is people. All right. On your screen is a limited edition coin that was created to mark the 60th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II. On the other side of this coin is the Gateway of India. The gateway was chosen to denote the city of a famous individual in whose honor this coin was also issued. Who are we talking about? Center point. Thinking out their answer. Go ahead.
Is it King George VI?
King George VI, to represent the city of Mumbai. Moving across. Anti-clockwise. J.H. Ambani Saraswati Vidya Mandir.
The answer is George V.
King George V. Across to Delhi College.
Sachin Tendulkar.
Sachin Tendulkar. That seems to be an answer with a question mark at the end of it. Sometimes in life, when in doubt, think of the most famous. You are right. Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar will give 10 points. On a coin with the Queen on one side, Sachin Tendulkar on the other side. Lovely. And here's the next one coming, the final one, which will be chosen by the Ambani Saraswati Vidya Mandir from Surat. 3 to pick. What's your choice?
We choose India.
Passionate, India it is. Here's your question. This is a photograph of a place called the Chapraula village. This is a technology which is being introduced for the first time in the world of ATMs. What technology? Time ticking away for you. J.H. Ambani, waiting for your answer.
The answer is biometric scanner.
Biometrics. Oh, if you are illiterate people, you probably can't even key in a name or a password, so you just do a biometric and you can use an ATM machine. Ladies and gentlemen, they are right. They got a 10-pointer on that effort. Battle here is really looking tight as we're going to move into the next frontier before we take a look at where the teams stand. It's a frontier where the buzzer starts to play a role. It's the frontier where teams will start scoring, not just with their ability to answer, but also with speed of thought. In the modern world that we live in, sometimes it's not only about knowing things, it's about how quickly we are able to utilize it. We move on to the next frontier of our battle here today. It's time to play the Banker's Bank. Here it comes. teams here today are well prepared on the world of the Reserve Bank of India, the Bankers Bank. 4 questions common to the 4 teams on the buzzer. You get it right, you get a +10. You get it wrong, you get a -5. I would supplement the visuals with some information, but you can choose to wait or choose to ignore. But if you press the buzzer, I do not add the information. If you are ready, here's the first one coming up on your screen now. This is a gentleman. In 2013, Ken Roganoff delivered a lecture for RBI on a lecture series instituted in the memory of an RBI governor who also happened to be the first chairman. They've gone for it. On my left is Raipur, stopping me in between. Go ahead.
He is Mr. L.K. Jha.
He is Mr. L.K. Jha. The young team from Raipur, +10. Remarkable quizzing, +10. As we move on to the second question on the Bankers Bank. On your screen, here we go. This was a legal tender signed by C.D. Deshmukh. For which country was this? They were the bankers to this country. Oh, they're going for it. Is Delhi College on my left?
Myanmar.
Myanmar, now known as Burma, Myanmar. We'll give you a 10-pointer. Delhi College are putting up a fight. They need a few more strikes on the buzzer to reach Raipur. But for now, Indore with a good answer. As we go on to the next one, on your screens, here's the next one coming up now. These are coins which were India's first bimetallic coins under a particular theme associated with India's multicultural heritage. What 3-word theme was this? India resonated this theme in 2 forms. 1, with these coins. 2, with music festivals across India. The theme was the same. It's a 3-word answer. Is someone going to go for it on the buzzer? Tense moments here today at the first semi-final. Nagpur are having a discussion. They've decided, I think, to go for it. And Nagpur on my right are giving it a go. Center point, go ahead. What's your answer?
Is it Aman Ki Asha?
Aman Ki Asha. A -5 to you on that. Well, it turned out to be a tricky one here today. They gave it a thought, went for it. The answer is simple. Unity in diversity. Well, you had the Unity in Diversity concerts which happened across India. The coins attribute to that as well. As we move to the final question on the Bankers Bank. On your screen, you will see a video, and you got to tell me what this video was called or the tagline of this campaign. Here it comes. Watch it.
जरा सी रोशनी डालो, नजर धोखा न खा जाए। ये मेरी नब्ज है, देखो। तो ये नोट ने कहा था।
They've given it a go. Is the young team from Raipur again? Into your mics. Yes, go on.
The campaign is Paisa Bolta Hai. It is a awareness campaign by RBI to make people aware of the security features present on the currency notes of India.
Paisa Bolta Hai. Okay, let me ask you, who wrote that?
Gulzar.
Is there something that you don't know about it? Fantastic. Put your hands together for them. Raipur. Just when Indore seems to be closing in on them, Raipur seems to be running that extra distance. It's like a T20 match. Just when the boundary is required, Raipur seems to be delivering. On the other side of this break, we'll tell you where the teams stand. At this point, you're watching RBI Q, the first semi-final. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
My name is Sandrine Rastello. I'm a reporter with Bloomberg.
I'm French. I just arrived from the US a few months ago, and this is one of the first events I'm covering here in India, and it was very interesting to see the effort that the RBI is putting in this issue of financial literacy. Governor Rajan just a few days ago spoke about the link between that and reducing poverty and increasing the number of people who have a banking account. So I think this is a very important step and very good for me to witness.
I think that this RBI Q is a very big and very important steps been taken, not only for these city persons, but it should be extended to the village level, that other persons should also come to know detail about RBI Q. And definitely that last year we met Mr. Governor Raghu Rajan sir, and he has also inspired us a lot. And this time also we are very much eagerly waiting to get that situation, that place, that stage where our students will definitely perform their level best. Thank you.
We got to know about financial literacy in this country, and we inculcated a lot of knowledge. This wasn't just some normal question and answering kind of competition.
This was the first time we participated in the RBI Q, and it was a fantastic experience. I mean, the level of questions, they were phenomenal.
RBI Quiz 2014 प्रस्तुतकर्ता रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया।
एक नोट ने कहा था, मेरी रंगत तो देखो, सातों रंग पहनता हूं, मेरा चेहरा उठाओ ना, बड़ी बारीक बातें हैं, छू के देखो नक्श मेरे, छुपाया कुछ नहीं मैंने, लिखा है सब लकीरों में, पहिए हैं न पंख हैं, पैसा चलता रहता है। नजर जो तेज रखते हैं वो सब कुछ ताड़ लेते हैं। जरा सा पास तो बैठो, तुम्हें पूरी तरह देखूं, जरा सी रोशनी डालो, नजर धोखा न खा जाए, ये मेरी नब्ज है देखो, ये नोट ने कहा था। सब कुछ तो परखते हो, मुझे भी परखने की एक आदत बना लो, पैसे की भाषा सुनिए, क्योंकि पैसा बोलता है।
डार्क स्पॉट्स इतने जिद्दी क्यों होते हैं, पीछा ही नहीं छोड़ते?
क्योंकि ये आपकी त्वचा के अंदर छुपे होते हैं। पॉन्ड्स इंस्टीट्यूट ने बनाया व्हाइट ब्यूटी जेन व्हाइट टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ। गहराई में समाने के लिए इसे प्रोफेशनली बनाया गया है। ये अंदर और बाहर जड़ से डार्क स्पॉट्स घटाए, आखिरकार जिद्दी डार्क स्पॉट से छुटकारा।
बेदाग निखरी त्वचा अंदर से, पॉन्ड्स व्हाइट ब्यूटी। पॉन्ड्स व्हाइट ब्यूटी सैशे सिर्फ 10 रुपए में।
हम जल्दी वापस आ जाएंगे, ओके? मेरे जूते। अरे इसके हाथों ने तो कमाल कर दिया।
पर तुम्हारे हाथों का काम तो बढ़ा दिया।
नहीं माँ, इजी है। सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वॉश, ये तुरंत खुले और इसके 10 हाथों की शक्ति जिद्दी दाग आसानी से निकाले।
पापा को भी चाहिए 10 हाथ।
सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वॉश।
माँ कहेगी बाल खुले तो कमजोर हो जाएंगे, तो खुले बालों का जादू हाँ या ना?
मम्मी के 1 रुपए का जादू है ना।
क्लिनिक प्लस के मिल्क प्रोटीन फॉर्मूला से बाल बने मजबूत।
माँ, क्या ये जादू रोज चल सकता है?
मम्मी का जादू है, हर रोज चलेगा।
नया क्लिनिक प्लस पैक अब सिर्फ 1 रुपए में।
लोगों की सेवा करना। दिल्ली फ्लाइट
आप
आने के
लेट है।
तुम जानती हो हम कौन है? जल्दी करो।
यात्री कृपया ध्यान दें, ये महाशय नहीं जानते कि ये कौन है। अगर आप इनकी ये जानने में मदद कर सकते हैं तो बड़ी मेहरबानी होगी।
ब्रुक बॉन्ड ताज़ा, ऐसी ताजगी भरी चाय दिमाग खुल जाए।
जगा रहा हूँ, सीधे ब्रश से ब्रशिंग, आधी नींद में, ये कोने कोने में करे सिर्फ आधी सफाई। पेप्सोडेंट कंप्लीट एक्सपर्ट, 1 नहीं 2 नहीं पूरे 3 एंगल, ताकि मुंह के हर कोने में मिले पूरा प्रेशर। अब बेहतर सफाई, आधी नींद में भी। पेप्सोडेंट ब्रश डेवलप्ड विद डेंटिस्ट सुके।
विम है दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी फैमिली के किचन में। आपके बच्चों का मैच जाके देखोगे नहीं?
कैसे? इस कढ़ाई में ही आधा घंटा लगेगा।
विम के साथ नहीं, चैलेंज इसमें है 100 नींबुओं की शक्ति, जो कड़ी चिकनाई हटाए सबसे तेज।
इतनी जल्दी?
सबसे तेज विम।
शादी सीजन यानी मेहंदी, संगीत, फेरे, रिसेप्शन, विदाई, 5 फंक्शंस की तैयारी अब रेडी सिर्फ 5 रुपए में।
फेयर एंड लवली का स्पेशल मिनी पैक जो दे सिर्फ 5 रुपए में हमारा बेस्ट एवर निखार।
अब 5 रुपए में रोज रेडी।
एक नोट ने कहा था, छुपाया कुछ नहीं मैंने, लिखा है सब लकीरों में। जरा सा पास तो बैठो, तुम्हें पूरी तरह देखूं। पहिए हैं न पंख हैं, पैसा चलता रहता है। जरा सी रोशनी डालो, नजर धोखा न खा जाए। ये मेरी नब्ज है देखो, ये नोट ने कहा था। मुझे भी परखने की एक आदत बना लो। पैसे की भाषा सुनिए, क्योंकि पैसा बोलता है।
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching RBI Q 2014. This battle seems far from over. With 2 rounds still remaining, it could still be a battle that can change. Will it? Will it not? Seems to be the unanswered question. But for now, let's take a look at where the teams stand on RBI quotient. A really close fight between 2 institutions from 2 sides of the western part of India. Indore with Delhi College are on 40. They're not out of this race at all. On 60, with that last answer taking them a little further with a psychological advantage, the Krishna Public School team from Raipur still holding on to that lead. The other teams on my right will have to play heavily on the buzzer to catch up with these 2 teams. For now, seems a 2-team battle. Like they say, it's never over till it's over. As we move on to the next frontier of our battle here today, time to do a little bit of lateral thinking. Time for us to play a little bit of audios and videos for you. As we move on to the next frontier, it's time to join the dots. Teams, 4 questions common to you. +10 you get it right, -5 you get it wrong. The overall answer is what matters, not necessarily your ability to break down the clues that you will see. You would get multiple clues which could also include an audio or a video. You got to work out, join the dots and arrive at the macro picture. Lateral thinking, as one would call it. If you are ready, here's the first one. Hands on the buzzer, coming up on your screen now.
They're plain. This is a vihara. That's where the monks lived and trained. The monks slept on elevated beds cut into the rock. The Chaitya Griha is the prayer hall. The object of worship here is a stupa, which is held to contain Buddha's remains.
What's inscribed there is the words John Smith. The time frame of that inscription would be 1819. The rediscovery of something in India. John Smith, 1819. Phenomenal place. Is someone going to give a chance on this? 10 if you get it right. Raipur are taking risks. They've got a lead and they're giving it a half chance. Go ahead, Raipur.
Nalanda University.
The Nalanda University will give you a -5. They went for it, took a half chance. They knew that a +10 will take them even further ahead, but that's the way the game is played. The great John Smith, 28th of April, if I'm not wrong, 1819 was the year when he discovered and gave India back the Ajanta caves. Well, tough one there for you. Along with that, of course, is the Agra Fort, both of which became the first recognized World Heritage Sites in India. Here's the next one. At a national semi-final, you would be equally expected to think a little more than you did in your regional rounds. So keep that at the back of your minds. Here's the next one coming on your screens now.
It means that you shall have to fight, and fight to win. There is no room for the loser. If you lose, don't come back. You will have disgraced the country. The country won't accept you.
A famous voice which said, if you lose, don't come back. On your screen is the list of the world's largest employers. The 9th in that list is what's marked out for you. And a famous stamp from India. will lead you to an iconic institution in our country. Giving this a shot is Delhi College from Indore.
Tata.
Your answer is the Tata Group. It's Mr. Tata, then you went to Tata Group. Well, -5 to you on that effort. It was their moment to try and get back at Raipur. Not a bad strategy, but they went on a wrong one perhaps. Well, the stamp, of course, is very, very symbolic, and that should have got you closer to the answer. That's the famous presidential bodyguards. The voice, Sam Manekshaw. If you lose, don't come back, he said. The 9th largest employer in the world, ladies and gentlemen, the Indian Army. Well, tough ones to make you think lateral. It is a round that would be demanding. You got to join the dots. You got to take your chances. Here's the next one. The third one coming up on your screens now.
The bank thus brought a series of products for the first time to Indians. From the most basic product for family security, the home savings deposit, to safe deposit lockers for their valuables, loans pertaining to people's livelihoods, going as far as to open an exclusive ladies department way back in 1924. And on its way, having the privilege of serving some illustrious Indians.
Krishna Public School on my left, representing Raipur, are going for it yet again. Yes.
This is the Central Bank of India.
This, according to you, is the Central Bank of India. Go on.
Sorabji Pochkanwala is the founder.
Sorabji Pochkanwala is the founder.
And the video is on their records that they made with the opening. They had many firsts in their kitty. And then that's the main headquarters from where it started.
That's the main headquarters of the Central Bank of India. Young team answering way beyond their age. Outstanding. +10! Central Bank of India will give them a crucial 10 because they just lost a 5. So this battle is really getting tense. Indore will now play out their strategy. On the final question, on your screens, take a look, listen to this one. Here it comes.
हमें है उजाला अंधियारा मिटाने का, हमें है हौसला नई उमंग बनाने का, हमें है एक जोश हर मंजिल पाने का, हमें है एक जज्बा हर जिंदगी सजाने का, हमें है जोश
An iconic institution. Is someone going to give this a chance? A lot of clues on your screen that should lead you to the answer. A famous stamp, a very synonymous photograph, their song. None of the teams taking a chance on that. One team goes through, Indore does not want to take a chance. Raipur are playing careful now. Well, none of the teams cracking it. I'd like to believe, seated in your homes, you probably would have cracked that one. The answer, ONGC. Well, life is always like that. When you choose not to press the buzzer, that's when you know the right answer. ONGC it was, and I think all 4 teams were thinking ONGC. The funny part is, your mind says it's ONGC. Sometimes your heart tells you, don't press that red button. Well, it's a 10-pointer that they would believe they missed out here today. But the final frontier of this battle will pretty much decide who goes into the national final from here.
This quiz is a big initiative taken by the RBI to spread awareness about banking and the finance. The number of schools which have taken clearly show that the message of banking and finance spreading far and wide in the entire country.
Since we do not have any RBI bank in Silicon Valley, now RBI the pain of being Gudi and the quiz second consecutive year. It was really a great experience, and more than 120 teams came to Silicon to participate in the quiz.
This quiz has and new terms related to economics and finance. They have learned a lot and economic facts across the world.
Every knowledge we acquire helps us in day-to-day life. There's nothing specific about knowledge. So, whatever we read, it's to somewhere near the future.
RBI 2014 रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया
कहा ये रंग तो देखो रंग मेरा बड़ी बारी होते हैं छू के देखो नक्श मेरे तो आया कुछ नहीं मैंने देखा है सब लकीरों ये है न पैसा चलता है नजर जो तेज रखते हैं वो सब ताड़ लेते हैं जरा सा पास तो बैठो तुम्हें पूरी तरह देखूं जरा सी रोशनी डालो नजर धोखा न खा जाए ये मेरी नब्ज है देखो ये नोट ने कहा था सब कुछ तो परखते हो मुझे भी परखने की एक आदत बना लो पैसे की भाषा सुनिए क्योंकि पैसा बोलता है
शादी सीजन यानी मेहंदी, संगीत, फेरे, रिसेप्शन, विदाई, 5 फंक्शंस की तैयारी अब रेडी सिर्फ 5 रुपए में।
फेयर एंड लवली का स्पेशल मिनी पैक जो दे सिर्फ 5 रुपए में हमारा बेस्ट एवर निखार।
अब 5 रुपए में रोज रेडी। इतना बड़ा होटल, पहली तनख्वाह मिली है माँ, लेट्स सेलिब्रेट।
कपड़े तो देखो, लगता है पहली बार आए हैं।
पहली बार है पर आखिरी नहीं।
नया शक्तिशाली रिन जो लौटाए कपड़ों में नई जैसी सफेदी। नया रिन, चमकते रहना।
लोगों की सेवा करना। दिल्ली फ्लाइट
आप
आने के
लेट हैं।
तुम जानती हो हम कौन है? जल्दी करो।
यात्री कृपया ध्यान दें, ये महाशय नहीं जानते कि ये कौन है। अगर आप इनकी ये जानने में मदद कर सकते हैं तो बड़ी मेहरबानी होगी।
ब्रुक बॉन्ड ताज़ा, ऐसी ताजगी भरी चाय दिमाग खुल जाए।
क्या आप अपना डव शैम्पू लौटाएंगी?
नो चांस।
डव लौटाना मतलब हेयर फॉल का लौटाना।
हेयर फॉल मतलब हेयर डैमेज। डव दे 50% ज्यादा पोषण, डैमेज बालों को रिपेयर करे और हेयर फॉल कम करे।
अपना डव लौटाऊं?
कभी नहीं। अब हेयर फॉल की परेशानियों से आजादी डव शैम्पू के साथ। सर्दियों में रूखी त्वचा को आम देखभाल से चाहिए कुछ ज्यादा, उसे चाहिए हीलिंग। इसीलिए वैसलीन टोटल मॉइस्चर जेली की माइक्रो ड्रॉपलेट्स के साथ त्वचा की नमी को 3 गुना बढ़ाए और रूखी त्वचा को हील करने में मदद करे। ये है वैसलीन का हीलिंग पावर। निखरी त्वचा का तोहफा अब वैसलीन हेल्थी व्हाइट फ्री टोटल मॉइस्चर के साथ।
हम जल्दी वापस आ जाएंगे, ओके? मेरे जूते। अरे इसके हाथों ने तो कमाल कर दिया।
पर तुम्हारे हाथों का काम तो बढ़ा दिया।
नहीं माँ, इजी है। सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वॉश, ये तुरंत खुले और इसके 10 हाथों की शक्ति जिद्दी दाग आसानी से निकाले।
पापा को भी चाहिए 10 हाथ।
सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वॉश।
शादी सीजन यानी मेहंदी, संगीत, फेरे, रिसेप्शन, विदाई, 5 फंक्शंस की तैयारी अब रेडी सिर्फ 5 रुपए में।
फेयर एंड लवली का स्पेशल मिनी पैक जो दे सिर्फ 5 रुपए में हमारा बेस्ट एवर निखार।
अब 5 रुपए में रोज रेडी।
एक नोट ने कहा था मेरी रंगत तो देखो, सातों रंग पहनता हूँ, मेरा चेहरा उठाओ ना, बड़ी बारीक बातें हैं, छू के देखो नक्श मेरे, पहिए हैं न पंख हैं, पैसा चलता रहता है। नजर जो तेज रखते हैं वो सब कुछ ताड़ लेते हैं, ये नोट ने कहा था। मुझे भी परखने की एक आदत बना लो, पैसे की भाषा सुनिए क्योंकि पैसा बोलता है।
We move straight into the final frontier. Time for the kids, time for the children, time for these wonderful quizzers to play with their piggy banks. Here it comes. On the final frontier, you will get 2 clues, of which you need to arrive at one final answer. The scoring pattern, +10, -10. So you play your game out carefully. It's a +10 and a -10 with 4 questions remaining on the final frontier. Piggy bank. Time to play your game. On the first one, Here it comes. Overall answer that would correct these three is going to be given by Delhi College. On my left from Indore have gone on the buzzer.
Nobel Prize for Economics.
Nobel Prize for Economics is the connection between all of these. The elements of the piggy bank will lead you to the Nobel for Economics. Plus 10! What a battle here today. First national semi-final is setting the stage for RBI Q 2014. A remarkable battle. Indore versus Raipur. 3 questions remaining. Here's the next one on your screen now. A crucial moment for them to go on the buzzer. Finance Minister 1982 to 1984. Another picture coming out of the piggy bank for you. Your answer, Delhi College, Indore.
Pranab Mukherjee.
Mr. Pranab Mukherjee was Finance Minister 1982. And in the backyard, the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Plus 10! They get it right. 2 questions remaining. 10, the difference between Indore and Raipur. Is it going to be the young team? Is it going to be the team that's really challenging them? The next 2 questions will tell you that story as we move on. Moving on to the next one here today, our third question. Just 10 points separating the 2 teams. It's turned out to be a T20 match in my view. Here's your question on your screen now. Oh, center point from Nagpur have given it a go. A famous Indian on your screen, and Krishna Raja Wadiyar.
The State Bank of Mysore.
The State Bank of Mysore is the combination of the answer. You know the gentleman on the right?
M. Visvesvaraya.
Sir M. Visvesvaraya.